What if I told you the most powerful words you'll ever say aren't loud, clever, or rehearsed, but quiet, real, and deeply felt? At Grandma's Vibes, we believe true connection starts not with charm, but with presence. Let me show you how to speak in a way that doesn't just get heard, but remembered. You know, there's something different about the way a man speaks when he's lived through enough seasons of life. His words carry more weight, not because they're louder, but because they're earned. Most men, when they think of compliments, they think of charm. They reach for the obvious. You look great. Nice smile. I like your dress. It's not wrong, but it's not memorable either. Women, especially mature women, aren't moved by flattery. What reaches them is something deeper, a kind of noticing that feels rare, honest, safe. I remember a friend of mine, 74 years old, widowed, gentle soul. He once said to a woman at the post office, "There's something steady in your voice. It reminds me of home." She didn't answer at first. She just looked at him, quiet, surprised. Then she smiled, a small grateful smile. See, it wasn't about being smooth. It wasn't about trying to get anything. It was about seeing her clearly. And when a woman feels seen, not judged, not evaluated, but truly seen, something powerful happens. This video isn't about being clever. It's not about learning lines. It's about how to speak with presence, how to offer the kind of compliment that only a man with depth can give. Because at our age we don't chase attention, we offer presence. And when we do that right, when we speak from the place of lived experience, women don't just listen, they remember. So let's talk about how to do that. Not louder, not faster, just more real. Reality. Number 1, why mature men have an advantage. Let's begin with something most men overlook, but might just be your greatest advantage. You see, younger men often try too hard. They're in a rush to be noticed. But with age comes stillness. And stillness, when paired with attention, becomes magnetic. Older men, men like you, carry 3 quiet gifts that most women long for, but rarely name out loud. Calm presence. You don't panic at silence. You don't need to fill the space. That in itself makes a woman feel safe. Life experience. You've seen heartbreak. You've seen joy. You've seen what lasts and what fades. That wisdom lives in your tone, your timing, your gaze. It lets a woman know you're not here to perform. You're here to understand, nothing to prove. That changes everything. Because when you speak, there's no manipulation, no agenda, no desperate reach for approval. Just an honest man speaking plainly. As psychologist Dr. John Gottman once said, when a woman feels emotionally safe, she opens up in ways most men never get to see. Or, in simpler terms, when a woman feels truly seen, not just looked at, she remembers that man. Sometimes for a moment, sometimes for a lifetime. So if you've ever wondered whether age makes you invisible, let me tell you the truth. It only makes you invisible to those who don't know how to look. But to a woman who's lived her own journey, a calm, emotionally intelligent man who notices her deeply is unforgettable. Reality number 2. What makes a compliment magnetic? We've talked about why mature men have an edge. Now let's look at what turns a simple compliment into something unforgettable. It's not just the words, it's the energy behind them. When a woman receives a compliment that's specific, sincere, and unexpected, her brain actually releases dopamine, the same chemical that lights up when someone feels joy, connection, or being truly appreciated. But here's the key. The compliment has to come with no strings attached, no hidden intent, no silent expectation, just recognition. That's what makes it feel safe. And when a woman feels safe, her guard drops, her heart listens. Let me give you 3 types of compliments that women, especially mature women, quietly crave. These aren't about how she looks, they're about who she is. Compliment her inner strength. You always speak with such clarity. It makes people pay attention. Even when you whisper, it tells her, I see the power in your words, not just your voice. Compliment her emotional impact. You make the room feel lighter when you walk in. It's like people breathe easier around you. It tells her you bring something that others don't. Compliment her journey. You've become more graceful with the years. That takes real strength. Not everyone ages with such presence. It tells her, I respect the road you've walked, not just how you show up. Notice none of these are flashy. None of them are exaggerated. They're grounded, specific, and spoken from a place of calm appreciation. Compare that with what most men say. You look nice today. You're beautiful. You've got great eyes. These might sound polite, but they're forgettable. But when you say something that no one else noticed, something rooted in observation and character, that's when her eyes soften. That's when she pauses. That's when connection begins. Deep down, every woman wants to know, did you see me or did you just glance? Reality number 3. The timing. When to compliment. Now that we know what kind of compliments truly reach a woman, let's talk about something just as important. When to say them. Timing isn't just about opportunity. It's about respect. And when it comes to mature women, the wrong moment can turn even the most thoughtful words into a misstep. Most men don't get this part right. They compliment too soon, too often, or worse, when she's not emotionally open to receive it. Here's a quiet truth. A compliment should never be used to fix, impress, or distract. It should come like a gentle recognition, something real, something felt. So when is the right moment? Let me offer you 3 moments when a sincere compliment carries real power. When she shares something personal. Maybe she's telling you about a challenge she faced, or how she got through a difficult chapter in life. That's not the time to say, you're strong. That's the time to look at her and say, you carried that with more grace than most people ever could. In that moment, you're not commenting on the story. You're honoring her courage. When she does something thoughtful that most people miss, maybe she refills your coffee before you ask. Maybe she listens without interrupting. Maybe she remembers your sister's name. That's when you say, the way you pay attention. It's subtle, but it makes people feel cared for. That kind of compliment shows that you notice what others overlook. When she's not expecting it, compliments are most powerful when they're not sandwiched between agendas, not at the start of a date, not as a reward, not because you're trying to get something in return. But when it's quiet, when it's calm, that's when you simply say, you carry yourself like someone who's made peace with who she is. That's rare. And then you let it land. No need to chase a reaction. Here's what I've learned. Don't compliment when it's convenient. Compliment when your heart sees something true, because women can feel the difference. And at our age, sincerity speaks louder than style.